Hello, welcome back to AutoCAD channel. Today we live streaming AutoCAD how to correct tense to the sketch, tense objects. You can see in the left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last this object. Okay, I am using AutoCAD 2017, and if you want to get this reference image, you can get it from our site mufasucad.com. Okay, for the first object, I will create this to this cat. First, I will create a circle in it with radius 35. Okay. Next, we create a circle again with radius 33, and the next we create a circle with radius 35. Okay, sorry, this 35. Circle with radius 30. Okay, next we create line. Start from this point to this point, and you can copy this line object to the bottom here. Hello, Rose Han. Welcome to my live streaming. Okay, let's move to the bottom 4. Next, you can use trim command to cut these circles, and I will cut in here, and then we cut in here. Okay, you can tap trim and enter twice to use fast trimming. Next, we create two circles again. Start from this point with radius 16. Hello, Ronnie. Welcome back to AutoCAD. We create circle again in here with radius 20. Okay. Next, you can move these two circles to the top here. 152. Okay, and then I will create a line in a middle point in here, from this point to this point. And next, you can copy, or you can move this line object to the right here 11. Okay, I will use circle command with tangent radius. Enter. You can click this object and click in here. Hello Abdul, I'm okay. This is my live streaming for AutoCAD. Okay, this with radius 11. Okay, and then I will create circle again with tangent radius in here with radius 50 here, 50. Next, you can use trim command, and I will trim in here. Okay, we trim in here. You can use mirror command to mirror this object. Start from this point to the bottom here and enter. We create a circle in here with a radius 22, and then you can use a trim command to cut this circle object and enter. Next, we create this to this cat with circle first. I will create circle in here with the radius 4. and then with a radius 7. Next, you can copy these two circles to the top, 76, and that I will create a line start from this point to the bottom here, and then you can copy this line object start from this point to this point, okay, in here and the last in here. Use trim command again. You can type trim, enter twice, and then trim in here. Okay, trim in here, and then you can move this object into middle in here. You can use move command, select all object, and then I will specify base point in the center in here. Next, you can tap M to P, mid from a 2 point, enter. You can select in here, click, and then click at this point, and automatically move into center of this object. Okay, we already create this first object to this cat, and for the next object we create this to this cat. Okay, I will zoom out this object. Okay, today we create 10 objects with AutoCAD application. This is basic training for beginner. This all object. Okay, and the next for the second. First, I will create a circle. Okay, we create circle in here with the radius 12, and then we create circle with the radius 20. Okay, next we create circle with the radius 35, and then with the radius 26. Okay, this 26. You can move these two circles to the right here 25, and then move again these two circles to the top here 98. Okay, 98. Next we create a line start from this point, okay, to this point. You can use join command. You can type join, enter to join these two lines object, and then use offset command with distance 7. Okay, I will offset to the right and then to the left. You can use trim command to cut in here. Okay, and then I will create circle with tangent 10 radius in this point with a radius 5, and then we create circle again with a tangent 10 radius, okay, in here with a radius 5. In the bottom we create a circle with TTR with radius 7. Okay, and then we create again in here with a radius 7. You can use trim command to cut this circles object. Okay, and cut this line. Next, you can delete this object. Okay, we create circle with tangent and radius. At this point, you can click this circle and this circle with radius 50. Okay, and then use a trim command to cut this circle. Okay, next for this object, we can create a line. Okay, start from this point to the top with length 81, and then you can copy this line object to the right here 3. I will create line start from this point to the right 13, and then move to the bottom here. Okay, you can use circle command again with tangent and radius. Click at this point to this point with the radius 20. Okay, here radius 20, and then you can fillet in this corner with the radius 7. Okay, I will fillet with radius 7. Click at this corner. Okay, I will use a trim command to cut this line and then these circles. Next, we use a mirror command to mirror this object. Start from this point to the top here and enter. I will delete this line object, and then you can use rotate command to rotate this object. Start from this point with 45 degree. Okay, and enter. The last, we use trim command to cut in here, and then we cut in here. Okay, we already create this second object. This is the first, and this is the second. The next object, we create this simple model. Okay, you can get this reference image from our site mufasucad.com. Okay, for the next training, we create this simple 2D sketch. You can create a circle in here with radius 17. Okay, we create circle again with radius 13. Next, we create a circle with radius 30. Okay, for the circle, we create radius 5 and 9. Okay, first you can create in here 5 and then 9. You can move these two circles to the top 23, and then we rotate these two circles object. Start from center point with 40 degree and enter. Okay, you can create line, and then you can press shift button, right click, and then choose tangent. Okay, click at this point, right click again, choose tangent, click at this point. Okay, you can tap line, enter, press shift button, right click, and click tangent in here, and the last we click tangent in here. Okay, I will use a mirror command to mirror this two line object. Start from center point in here into center point in here. Next, we use trim command to cut these circles. Okay, and we create this 2D sketch. Next, I will create line with length 32. Okay, we create line in the center here to the right here 32, and then you can move the last object to the top 45, and move again the last object to the left here 49. Okay, I will create a line, start from this point and we use tangent again. Click at this point, we create a line, start from this point, and using tangent, click at this point. Okay, this is simple. And next we create line with length, start from this point to the top 36. Okay, we create in here and close at this point. I will create line with length 22. Okay, and you can move this line object, start from middle point. You can highlight at this point and move to the left here with distance 5 and enter. Okay, next we create line in here. Okay, I will use circle command to create a circle with tangent 10 radius at this point with radius 5. Okay, and you can use trim command to cut this line, and you can press shift button and click this line object to active extend command. Okay, enter to finish. I will trim these circles. Okay, next we trim again in here, and then I will use join command to join this object, and then I will use offset command with distance 2. Okay, distance 2. Can click at this object and click inside here, and then we use trim command to cut this object, and the last we use mirror command to mirror this object, start from this point to the right here. Sorry, I will mirror, start from this point to the right and enter, and then you can use trim command again. Okay, to cut in here and then extend in it. We already create this third model. Okay, I will move to this point. Okay, for the next object, we create this simple 2D sketch. Okay, for first object, I will create circle in here with the radius 10. Next, we create a circle again. Sorry, I will increase. Wait, I will increase the sounds. Okay, next we create a circle again in the center with radius 42. Okay, and we create circle with radius 50. Okay, this is 50. Next, we create two circle in the top with a radius 4 and 7. Okay, and everyone, if you want to get if you want to this reference image, you can get from our site mufasuketa.com. Okay, after we live streaming today. Okay, I will create a circle with radius 4 and 7 in this point. 4 and then 7. Next, you can move these two circles to the right here, 15. Okay, and then use mirror command. Enter. Start from this point to the top and enter. Okay. Use trim command to cut these circles. and then we cut in here. Next, use line command to create line start from this point to the top with length 30. And then I will use arch command. You can tap arch. Okay, enter. Click at this point, and then click type A. Enter. Click at this point with radius 15 and enter. You can use array command to array this object. Okay, start with the polar in the center point, and then I will change items into 30. Okay, you can click close array. Next, use exclude command to exclude this array object, and then you can trim in here. I will trim in here. And next we delete this object again. Okay, I will select this object and delete. And next we use array command again to array these two objects with polar. Click at the center point with items 30, and you can close array. Okay, we already create this object. Next, in bottom, I will create line with length 170. Okay, I will create line start from this point to direct 170. Okay, you can move this line object. Click at the middle point. Okay, in here. Okay, I will move. You can highlight in here and move to the bottom. Okay, you can highlight and move to the bottom with distance 68 and enter. Okay, I will use copy command to copy this line object to the top 12. And then we create line start from this point to this point. Okay, we create line again in here. And next we create line object start from this point to the top here. You can move this line object to the left 25, and then use a mirror command to mirror this line object start from this point to the bottom here. Okay, we create this sketch, and next use a trim command to cut in here and then cut in here. Okay, I will select this line object and delete. Next, we create a circle with 10 and 10 radius at this point with radius 5. Okay, I will mirror again this circle to the bottom here, and then you can use fillet command with the radius 5. Okay, I will use a multiple. We fillet this corner. And then use a trim command to cut the circle and click in here to cut the lines object. Okay. Next, you can use fillet command again with radius 2. Okay, at this corner, you can tap fillet, enter with radius 2, and then you can fillet this corner and fillet this corner. I will use join command to join this all object. Okay, this object, and then you can use offset command with offset distance 2 here, distance 2. Enter, click at this object. Okay, click inside and in here. I will use a trim command to cut in here. We cut in here and the last in here. The next object we create these two circles. Okay, two circles with radius 85 and 90. Okay, I will create circles. Start from the center point with radius 85 and then radius 90. You can copy this object, okay, or you can create a line. Start from this point to this point and then move for the last object to the top, 23. Okay, I will mirror this line object from this point to the bottom, and then you can use a trim command to cut this circle, and then we cut in here. Okay, I will trim in here and we trim in here. Next, you can delete this object. Okay, we already create this fourth object. Okay, this object fourth. We'll move to this point. The next object we create this to this cat. Okay. First, I will create circles with a radius 20 and 23. Okay, we create circles in here with a radius 20 and then 23. We create a polygon object with 6 sides. Okay, start from center point and use inscript in circle with radius 13. Okay, next I will create circles with radius 14 and 9. You can create circle from this center point with radius 14 and then 9. Okay, I will move this to circle. Okay, to the right here 57, and then move these two circles to the top 14. Okay, we use circle command with a tangent to create this object, these two objects with radius 90 and 100. Okay, you can tap C, enter, and tap tangent and radius TTR. Click at this object and then with radius 100. Okay, we create a circle again with tangent. Click this object. Okay, and this circle object with radius 90. Next, use trim command to cut this circle object, and then I will cut in here. You can use mirror command to mirror this two arch object. Start from center point in here into center point in here. Okay, I will create a circle with radius 45. These circles. Okay, I will create circle. Start from this center point with radius 45. And then we create circle with radius 4 with tangent and radius. You can tap C and tangent and radius. We click in here and in here with radius 4. We create a circle again with tangent and radius at this point with radius 4. Next, you can use a trim command to cut in here. Okay, and then we cut in here. Next, we create two circles with radius 9 and radius 14. Okay, I will create circle. Start from this point with radius 9 and then with radius 14. You can move these two circles to the top here, 54. Okay, and then you can use rotate command to rotate these two circles. Start from this point with 50 degree and enter. We create a circle again with tangent. Okay, in here with radius 5, and then you can use trim command to cut these circles object. Okay, we create circle with tangent. You can click these circles and these circles with radius 50, and then we use a trim command to cut these circles again. Okay, next I will create object this object. First, you can create circle with radius 4 in the center of this object. Okay, I will create a circles, and you can type M to P, middle from 2 point, enter. Click first point in here, and then click second point in here. Okay, will be create in the center here with the radius 4 and enter. Next, you can use rotate command to rotate this circle object. Start from this point. Okay, and then you can type C to use copy option with angle 45 degree and enter. Okay, we create circle again with M to P, middle from 2 point. You can click at this point and the second point at this point with the radius 4. Okay, we use rotate command again to rotate this circle object. Start from this point with copy option, and then with angle 45 degree and enter. And then we create circle. Start from this point into this point. We create circle again. Start from this point into this point. You can use trim command to cut these two circles. Okay, and I will cut in here. We cut again in here, and the last inside there. Okay, we select these objects and delete. Okay, we already create this to this cat. Okay, I will move to this point. The next object, we create this model. Okay, first I will create a circle, 3 circles with a radius 20, 50 and 54. Okay, I will create in it. Circle with radius 20. Okay, halo, selamat malam, Fat Series. And we create the circle again in it with the radius 50 and the last with the radius 54. Next, we create circle with radius 4 and with the radius 8. Okay, 4 and 8 with length 60. Okay, this is 60. I will create a circle in here with radius 4 and then with the radius 8. Okay, you can move this two circles object to direct here 60. Okay, next we use a line command. You can press shift button, right click and choose a tangent. Click this circle and choose tangent again. Click these circles. Enter to finish. Okay, you can press shift button, right click and choose tangent. Okay, use line command first and press shift button, right click tangent. Click this circle and press shift button again, right click and click tangent. Click at these circles. Okay, next we trim in here, and then you can use a mirror command to mirror this object. Start from this point to the top here. Okay, we use rotate command to rotate this object with angle 15 degree. Okay, I will rotate these two circle, two objects from this center point with angle 15 degree and enter. Okay, next I will create line start from this point to the top here. Okay, and we create line again in here. Hello Sanilal, welcome to AutoCAD channel. And for Asmi, iya ini pakai AutoCAD, Autodesk. Kalau yang kemarin live streaming pakai apa ya, software baru itu sama juga seperti AutoCAD. Oke, lanjut. We create line to line in here, and then I will use move command to move this line object to direct here 26. Okay, here 26. Move to direct 26. And then I will move this line object to the top 38. Okay, we create a line object, start from this point to the bottom here with the length 72. Okay, 72, and then you can move the last object to direct here 48. I will create a line start from this point into this point. Okay, next we create circle with tangent 10 radius. Click at this point to this point with the radius 20 and enter. I will use a trim command to cut this line object. Okay, and then we cut this circle. Next we create a polygon object. Okay, with the set 6 and radius 4. I will create a polygon. Start from center point in here. Use inscript in a circle. Okay, and with radius 4, you can move the last object to the bottom here 8, and then move the last object to direct here 8. Okay, use a mirror command to mirror this object, start from this point to the top, and then use a copy command to copy this object to the bottom here 52 and enter. Next we create circles in here with the radius 6, and you can move the circle to the bottom 36. Okay, 36. Okay, next we create this object. Okay, with the circles and radius 10. I will create a circle in here with 2 points. Okay, start from this point to the top 10, and you can use copy command to copy this circle object. Okay, click at this point, we copy to the top here. Next, use trim command to cut in here, and then I will use join command to join these two arch object, and you can use offset command with the offset distance to here. Okay, I will offset into the left here, and I will offset the circle into outside. Next, use trim command to cut this circle, and we cut this object. Finally, we use rotate command to rotate this object. Start from this point with angle 45 degree. Okay, and then you can use a trim command to cut in here. Okay, we already create this 6 object. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will move this object into this point. Okay, the next object we create this 2D sketch. Okay, first we create circles. The circles with radius 6, and the circles with radius 60, and the third circles with radius 70. Okay, I will create circles in here with radius 6. Okay, we create again with radius 60, and last we create radius 70. Okay, we create circles with radius 4. I will create circles in here with radius 4, and then you can use array command. Okay, use array command to array this circle object with polar. Click at the center point, and then with items 36. Okay, in here 36, close. Next we create a circle. Okay, you can click at the center point into this point. Okay, I will create circle again in here, and then we create circle in here. You can click array object and delete. Okay, next we use trim command to cut this circle, and we cut in here, and then you can trim this circle object. Okay, trim in here. Next we use array command again to array these objects. Okay, with polar, start from the center point, and then for items you can change into 18. Okay, you can close array here, and I will delete this circle object. Okay, untuk tutorial denah rumah sudah ada AutoCAD, tapi untuk live streaming belum. Nanti selanjutnya mungkin saya akan membuat tutorial itu. Okay, in the bottom here I will create a line with length 28. Okay, we create line in here with length 28, and you can move this line object, highlight at this point, move to the bottom with length 88, and enter. Okay, next we create line, start from this point to the top here. Okay, we create again in here. Next you can copy this line object to the top 4, and then use fillet command with radius 4, sorry, with radius 2. We fillet this two corner. Okay, you can type fillet, enter, with radius 2. Use a multiple. I will fillet in here. Okay, we create line start from this point to the bottom here, and then you can move this line object to the right here 8. Use a mirror command to mirror this line object in here. Okay, we use a trim command to cut this line, and then we cut in here. Okay, and for the top, you can create line with length 56 and with height 104. Okay, I will create a line start from this point with length 56. You can move this line object from this middle point. Okay, you can highlight at this point and move to the top with length 104. Okay, we create line object, sorry, we copy this line object to the top 8, and then to the top here about 18. Okay, I will create line start from this point into this point, and you can move this line object to the right here 6. Use mirror command to mirror this line object start from this point to the top here and enter. Use a trim command to cut this line object. You can use fillet command to fillet this corner with radius 2. Okay, we use fillet command with the radius 2. Use a multiple and we fillet in here. Next, I will create a line start from this point to this point, and we create a line in here. You can create a line start from this point to the bottom here, and then move this line object to the right here 14. Use a mirror command to mirror this line object from this point to the top. The last, I will create a circle object with a tangent 10 radius. Okay, we create circle with a tangent in here with radius 4, and I will copy this circle object to the top here. Sorry, I will use a mirror command to mirror this circle object to the top, and we use a trim command to cut this line object, these circles, and this lines object. Okay, you can use fillet command again to fillet this corner with radius 2. You can tap fillet with the radius 2 and use a multiple option. We fillet in this corner and we fillet in this corner. Okay, we already create the 6 object. I will move, sorry, the 7th object. I will move to this point. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, the next object, we create this simple object. Okay, first I will create from this point. We create a line with length 53 and with height 7. Okay, and then I will create line in here 53. Okay, we create line again in here 7 to the top here. Okay, and close at this point. use a line command to create line start from this point to the left here, 90. Okay, you can use rotate command to rotate this object start from this point, and use a copy option. I will copy at this point. Okay, I will use a join command to join this object, and then you can use offset command. Okay, we use offset command with distance, offset distance 20. Okay, I will offset to the top and then to the bottom here. Next, we use circle command with a tangent with a radius 50 to create in here. Okay, we create circle with a tangent, and you can click at this point to this point with the radius 50 and enter. Next, use a trim command to cut in here, and we cut in here. Delete this arch object. Use offset command again. Okay, with offset distance, you can click at this point to this point. We offset this object to this point and enter, and then use trim command again to cut this circle. Okay, I will delete this object. Next, we create circle in the center here. Okay, you can use M2P middle from 2 point. You can tap C, enter, and then tap M2P middle from 2 point, enter. For first point, click at this point, and for the second point, click at this point. Okay, we create a circle in the center here. Okay, with the radius 13. Okay, we create circle again with radius 14. Circle again with radius 26, and the last with radius 27. Okay, you can use trim command to cut in here. Okay, we'll cut in here. And then we use offset command. Okay, with offset a distance 5. Okay, I will offset in here. You can click this object and click inside. Okay, we offset again in here. And then we use trim command to cut this object. Okay, we cut in here. And then you can delete this object. Okay, I will use delete button to delete this object. Okay, we trim in here and delete. Okay, next we create two circle. Okay, with the radius 52 and 49. We create circle, start from center point with radius 49, and then with the radius 52. Okay, use trim command again to cut in here, and we cut in here. Okay, you can select this arch object, and we create the egg object. Sorry, we create the circles. Okay, I will create circles in the center here. You can tap M2P and then click this first point, second point with radius 2. use array command. We array this circle object with polar, start from center point and items 6. You can close array. Okay, finally we create this simple object. I will move the egg object to this point. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And for the next object we create this 2D sketch. Okay, I will start from this point. We create a circle with radius 25 and then with radius 10 and 3. Okay, I will create circles in here with radius 25. We create a circle again with radius 3 and then with radius 10. Okay, you can move this object to the top here 20 and then move this object to the left 35. Okay, I will use a mirror command to mirror this object. Start from this point to the top and then we create a circle. Okay, start from this point into this point. We create line in here and then line in here. You can use a mirror command to mirror this two line object. Start from this point to the bottom here. Okay, and then use a trim command to cut these circles. Okay, we cut these circles. We use rotate command to rotate this object. Start from center point with angle 35 degree. Okay, this 35 degree and enter. Next I will create circles and polygon. Circles with radius 23 and polygon with radius 16. Okay, we create circles in here with radius 23 and you can tap polygon to create a polygon object with number offset 6. Okay, and center. I will click at this point. Use inscript in a circle and with the radius 16. Move this two object to the bottom here 107. Okay, and then move to the left 64. Okay, we copy. You can copy this two object to the rack 128. Okay, you can copy to the rack here 128 and then we copy again this object to the top 136. Okay, you can copy this object to the top 136. I will use a circle command with tangen. Okay, we create circles in here with radius 10 and we create circles again with tangen in here with radius 100. Okay, we create circles with tangen in here with radius 100 and next we create circles with radius 50. Okay, tangen, you can click this point with the radius 50. Use trim command to cut this circles object. Okay, for the next we use offset command with offset distance 7. Okay, I will use offset command with offset distance 7. Okay, we offset this object to inside here. Okay, you can click one by one and then we use a trim command to cut in it. Okay, we cut in it, cut in here, and the last in here. Okay, next you can delete this object. Okay, I will delete in here. And in here. Okay, for the next I will create circles from this point. You can tap C with M2P. Okay, click first point in here and the second point in here with the radius 3. Okay, we create this the 9th objects. I will move this object into this point. Okay, the last object, the 10th. Okay, we create this model. First, I will create circles with a radius 28, and then with a radius 38. Okay, you can create circles in here with the radius 3 and then radius 6. Okay, I will use a trim command to cut this circle object. And then you can use array command. We array this objects with polar, start from the center point, enter, and then you can explode this array and delete this object. Okay, next you can use circle command with radius 1 in this point. Okay, circle with tangent 10 radius in here 5, sorry, with radius 1. Okay, I will use a mirror command to mirror in here, and you can use a trim command to cut in here. Okay, I will array this object polar, click at the center point with 6. Okay, and you can use a trim command to cut in here. Okay, we cut in here. I will cut in here. Okay, and this point, and the last in here. Okay, you can use a explode command to explode this object and delete. Okay, next we create lines from this point. Okay, with length you can see in here about 48. Okay, I will create a line 48 and move this line object to this point. Okay, you can move this line object to the right here 48. We create line, start from this point to this point, and move the last object to the top here 12. You can use a mirror command to mirror this line object. Okay, use a trim command to cut the circle, and then I will copy this line object to the right here 94. Okay, we create line, start from this point to this point, and then we create line again in here. You can use a trim command to cut this line object. I will use a join command to join these objects. Okay, and then you can use offset command with offset distance 10. Okay, in here offset distance 10, tap offset, enter, and then give offset distance 10. Click at this object and click outside. Okay, I will use a fillet command with radius 10 here, radius 10, and use multiple option to fillet in here, okay, in here, and the last in here. We use circle command with tangent 10 radius. Click at this point to this point with radius 5, and then I will use a mirror command to mirror this circle, start from this point to this point. Use a trim command to cut in here. Okay, we cut again in here. And I will use a fillet command with the radius 3. We fillet in this corner. Okay, you can tap fillet with the radius 3 and use a multiple option. You can click at this corner in here, and the last in here. Okay, next I will create line, start from middle point in here to the bottom here 45, and move to the left here 50. Okay, use circle command to create circle. Okay, start from this point with the radius 7 and 10. Okay, with radius 7 and then with radius 10. I will use join command to join this two line object, and then you can use offset command. Okay, with offset distance, you can click at this point to this point. I will offset to the top and then to the bottom. We offset again with offset distance. Click at this point to this point. Okay, we offset this object to the top and then to the bottom here. Okay, next I will delete in here, and then you can use a trim command to cut this circle, cut in here, and then we cut in here. Okay, we finish this object. Okay, I will move to this point. Okay, finally we already create this tense object. This is training to the modeling for beginner, how to use basic command like line, circles, polygon, trim, and others. Okay, and then see you next time in another our AutoCAD tutorial for beginner. And for the next I will streaming to create 3D models with AutoCAD application. Okay, see you next time in the next hour live streaming.